What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Sunday. Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt, to follow me on Twitter. This podcast being brought to you by our friends at BetMGM. The offer: first users, first time, new users, $1,000. They're offering that to your first bet for new users. That's what I'm trying to say. Juice is the promo code that you're going to use at BetMGM.com. Juice for a $1,000 first bet offer. Okay, a 1-in-3 day. We go from being up 1 unit to being down 1 unit, or a little more, like 1.12, somewhere in that range, heading to a Sunday. Man, the Discord channel, if you guys aren't in there, Discord After Dark, we like to call it, there's some fun arguments going on. But I'm going to tell you this right now, and I have never been hit by anyone with the power of Tank Davis. But if you're questioning Ryan Garcia, you've never been hit with a body shot before. And I'm not saying I've been hit by anybody of any real strength, but I've been hit in the liver, and I've been hit where Ryan's been hit, and it was the single most painful thing I've ever experienced. And I mean, I dislocated my shoulder a couple of times. I broke bones before. The liver shot shuts everything down, like literally. You can't breathe. Your life flashes before your eyes. You think everything's over. And I got clipped. My coach clipped me. We were sparring, and he just, because he's a professional, or was a professional boxer, he knew how to throw a right punch, and he hit me good. I had hit him pretty hard. He was pretty pissed. So he came at me, and he dropped me with a body shot, and I was out for literally 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. I couldn't move for 2.5 weeks. I couldn't work out. I couldn't do anything. And it was a kind of a controversial thing because my coach was supposed to be getting me ready for a fight, and we had to postpone the fight because he hurt me in training, which is what happens when you're training for combat sports. You can get hurt. I got hurt. He hurt me bad. Ryan Garcia deserves a ton of respect, and no one should be talking negatively about him. That was not a routine shot. That was not a typical shot that happens in every round, okay? He got hit with the perfect body shot. Give Tank Davis credit for the body shot, the power, the placement to knock out Ryan Garcia. Everyone thought it was going to be a headshot knockout, including me. It was pacing right to go to the over. But remember, it's not 7.5 rounds, meaning the 7th round. It's through 7, halfway into the 8th. That's what we needed. So it did not get close to going over, even though the fight was pacing towards that way because there was such little activity. But we talked about it on the podcast last night. In the 2nd round, the dropping of the hand by Ryan Garcia when he threw the left hook, he didn't raise the right hand, and that's when Davis came over the top in the 2nd round and clipped him. So right there, I was like, uh-oh. I don't know how long this fight's going to last. It got to the 7th, and then, well, he called his shot. Tank Davis said 7th or 8th round, I'm going to knock out Ryan Garcia. Did exactly that. So, hell of a fight, a lot of fun. I love the fight game. I love boxing. Super fun. Bummer to lose the bet, but fun to be involved. Fun to have some money down on it. And I lost some personal money. I took a couple flyers on Garcia, my knockout in Garcia, to win the fight at plus 200 and plus 500. Both those bets lost personally. So that kind of stunk. So overall, not a very good night for me, but 1-3, the over on the Avalanche game came in. The Golden Knights under was dead in the first period. I mean, my gosh, that game was wacko. Big win for the Golden Knights. Big win for Colorado. More on that here in just 1 second. We got, I don't know what happened to the Bucks. They got stomped, but it continued on Saturday. If the favorite wins, the favorite covers. It's automatic. It literally is automatic. It's hitting at a ridiculous, I think it's 23-1 now. If the favorite loses the bet, they lose the game automatically. Bucks favored, lost the game. It's Lakers favored, won the game, covered. The Suns won the game, favored, covered. It's ridiculous right now. And the handicap's going to be kind of easy here. But before I give you the plays for today, you guys might know the exact bets we're making today because we're coming in pretty consistently. Very similar card to what we had a couple of nights ago here on the Daily Juice. But let's talk about how you guys can win a 1-year upgrade to BettingPros Premium. You're going to subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel. Hit the notification too so you know when things go live and when things go up on the site, on the YouTube channel. Like this video, comment underneath me, because when you do, you could win a free upgrade to Betting Pros Premium, whether you're looking for access to exclusive picks, top-rated player props, or custom analysis of your betting performance. Betting Pros Premium has the tools to help you cash more bets. That's where the prop bet cheat sheet is located. You guys can do your own research. If you guys are wondering, like, where does Matt get his player props? Now, I'm 1-3 over my last 4 bets off the prop bet cheat sheet. So I don't do always, I'm not always nailing it, but maybe you have more luck than me. So go check it out. It's pretty cool. That's available if you sign up for Betting Pros Premium, where you can do so, bettingpros.com/upgrade, and start betting smarter, not harder. All right. So the Boston Celtics are a much better team than the Atlanta Hawks, and they're coming off of a loss. It's interesting when you start looking at the way Boston played after losses this season on the road. So Boston lost to Cleveland on the road on the 6th of March. They won 115-93 the next game at home against Portland. They lost to the Rockets on the road on the 13th of March, beat the Timberwolves 104-102 as dogs. They lost to the Jazz 118-117. Next game, they beat the doors off the Kings 132-109. They lost to the Wizards on the road, and next game on the road, beat the doors off the Bucks 140-99. They lost to Philadelphia on the road 103-101, and then beat the Raptors 197-93. Okay? So when they've lost on the road over the last month, the Boston Celtics have bounced right back and they've won. Boston is a better team than the Atlanta Hawks. They should not have lost the game that they did in Game 3. Just fundamentally, they did not play well. Scott Foster, maybe you could talk about the way the game was called. Jaylen Brown was in foul trouble the entire game. I don't think that's going to happen here today. It's a very similar bet that we made in Game 3. We got it wrong. We're going to come back again here with the Celtics laying 6 to the Hawks. This game should not be close, okay? Boston should win this thing going away. They're a much better team than the Atlanta Hawks. It's a bad matchup, okay? It's just a bad matchup. And I think when you start looking at how Boston is going to be able to attack Atlanta, I think Boston's going to be able to do things that they want to, both offensively and defensively, keep track of the basketball, stay out of foul trouble. Boston wins. Boston -6. Again, point spreads don't matter. Boston -6 against the Hawks here to take a 3-1 lead up against Atlanta. Second bet in the NBA. I thought about betting Golden State, all right? I really did. Draymond coming back actually made me pause. They're laying 7.5. I don't mind if you bet the favorite in all 4 games here. I think at worst you go 3-1. You might go 4-0. All right. Every game in the NHL last night was an overtime, which is crazy. But take a look at, we think playoff hockey is going to go one way, and playoff hockey is just not what we thought playoff hockey was going to be. I mean, it's the final scores. The Rangers and Devils went over. Devils finally won a game, so they're alive. I'm stunned they won a game in the series. And especially because the road team has won every game in that series, so it makes absolutely no sense. But, I mean, the grand salami was 23.5. Let's do some quick math. 16, 19, way over. 29, way over again. So now it's 4-2 here. The grand salami, which has been 23.5 goals every day, which is the combination of all 4 games, every goal scored, the total number of goals. It's 23.5 every day, 23.5. It's 4-2 now. So much for low-scoring hockey games in the playoffs here. But, yesterday was, if you bet puck line from the Dogs, you did quite well yesterday. And that's not actually a bad way of playing this as well. I mean, to get a goal and a half for the Hurricanes, it's -260. To get a goal and a half for the Florida Panthers, it's -195. To get a goal and a half from the Minnesota Wild, for the Stars rather, it's -260. And if you want it for the Kings, it's -195. So the books know what they're doing, right? They're going to make you pay if you want to get that goal and a half versus the puck line, the dog on the puck line. But I think this is a win for Boston, and I think this is going to be a win for the Knicks. The Knicks took care of business at home, going away. The Knicks are laying 2.5 points to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're 5-2 this year against Cleveland. They're 3-0 at home against Cleveland. They won game 3 by 20 points, and I know Cleveland's going to play much better, but this New York crowd is something else. It's unbelievable. The energy, the passion that the Knicks, and I hate the Knicks, okay, and I hate New York, but you can't hate on what's happening at MSG. You can't get angry with it. It's the first game of the day. It's a 10 a.m. Pacific time start, 1 o'clock Eastern time start. So if you're someone who is a little concerned about, the pace of play, the under may be a very good bet here, okay, to come in. But just because I'm a little bit hesitant on it, I'm a little I don't know if I want to jump in on a total because it feels like one of these games is going to fly over. Like at some point, we're going to get these two teams to score a lot of points. Let's see. We are now, for the Knicks, the under's 3-0 so far. And now the total in this game is down to 206.5. So the books are finally saying, screw it, let's go all the way down. Because the last game went 33.5 points under. The second game went 17 points under. First game went 18 points under. So the books are just cratering this. It does feel like the first team to 100 is going to win. The Knicks got 99, so they almost got there in game 3. One of these games is going to be high scoring at some point, but I don't mind a play on the under at all. Knicks and Cavs under very well might be a good play, but I think the Knicks win. I'm going to lay the 2.5 points. I'll have a personal play on the under, but 206.5 is so darn low that at some point, these games offensively, I think they're going to have it. I think the better bet is to lay the 2.5 points with the Knicks to stay undefeated at home, riding the MSG crowd. Knicks minus 2.5. Again, either the dog wins outright or the favorite covers. So pick your poison. You like the Cavs? Don't take plus 2.5. Take them to win the game on the money line. All right. The Warriors. If you think the Warriors are going to win, bet them to cover. If you think the Nuggets are going to win, bet them to cover. Denver's minus 3.5. I think they cover that. Maybe the T-Wolves play better, but I think you could bet all 4 favorites here today, and at worst, you're going 3-1. Okay? At worst. I mean, put it this way. I don't hate it if you guys lay, what would that pay? If you were to bet the money line, if you bet minus 2.5 with the spread of all favorites, just for the heck of it, just to see what happens. If you took minus 2.5 the Knicks, minus 7.5 the Warriors, minus 6 Boston, and minus 3.5 the Nuggets, it's pretty good. It's 12-1 return. Okay, I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying it may not be a bad idea. Just given what we've seen here out of favorites, don't bet the money line. Bet them to cover. All 4 teams to cover who are favored. One of them is losing the game outright. All right, one team is losing outright. Who? We'll see. Is it Warriors? Is it Celtics? Is it Knicks? Is it Nuggets? One of the 4 will lose outright, in my opinion. But I'm laying the 2.5 with the Knicks. I'm laying 6 with the Celtics here, both for 1.1 units on a Sunday. The one hockey play is the most obvious hockey play, and it's a 3-0 play. We keep on betting it. We're going to bet it again. The books aren't moving the number, which is bizarre. They're not moving the juice either. Carolina and the why is my brain not working? In the Islanders. Under 1.5 goals in the first period is minus 130. At some point, we'll lose this, and it could be today. It's 3-0. To go 4-0 would be quite awesome to jump in with that. So 1.3 units down, under 1.5 goals. It's been super sweaty all 3 times. I think it'll be super sweaty again. But 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. All 3 games. Let's make it 1-0 after 4. Let's do it again. Under 1.5 goals for 1.3 units. All right? Those are the 3 official plays. Now, there could be an ad. Here is one thing to take a look at. Have you guys ever looked at shot props in the NHL? Connor McDavid, his shot prop has been 3.5 every single game so far in this series against the Kings. He's had at least 5 shots on goal in every game. He's gone way over this every time. He had 7 shots on goal the last game. The juice is being moved, not the number. So you can take Connor McDavid, you can add Connor McDavid shots on goal to whatever parlay you're going to do, because that's going to hit, okay? Connor McDavid's going to have 4 shots on goal. I think he had 4 shots on goal in the first period in the last game. So that's minus 160. If the Florida Panthers start Sergei Bobrovsky, all right, if Bob's in net, we're betting over 6 goals. Okay? We're betting the over. If that happens, if Bob's in net, because the only way Florida wins game 4 is if the game goes way over. Florida's not beating Boston with Bob in net in a low-scoring game. Now, Alex Lyon, if he plays in game 4, different story, but he was yanked in game 3. So this is a 30-year-old journeyman who has never been a starting goaltender for anyone consistently, and now he's starting for a team in the playoffs against the greatest regular season team in the history of the league. And he got pulled. He only gave up 3 goals, but he got pulled after being down 3-0. Now, Bob came in. Bob gave up a goal. The idea was like, get Bob some work. Everybody was like, get Bob some work. He's going to play game 4. If Bobrovsky's playing game 4, you have a plus 170 parlay waiting right there for you. Bruins and Panthers over 6 goals, and then over 3.5 shots for Connor McDavid. So there could be an ad as we approach the start of the game. Once we figure out who's in net for the Florida Panthers, things might change. If Alex Lyon plays, I might pivot and put it to just a money line for the Bruins, but I don't know. I think the Bruins win. So here's the thing. Vegas, game 3, they've won game 2, they've won game 3. Colorado's won game 2, they've won game 3. Bruins lost game 2. They won game 1, they lost game 2. I think the Bruins are going to go by the way that the Golden Knights and the Avalanche have gone, where you go down on the road and it actually helps you because you just focus on hockey, you get back to what you're doing, and you go and play. Now, the Golden Knights blew a 4-1 lead to Winnipeg. They were lucky to win game 3. Probably should have lost it, won the thing in overtime. Colorado took care of business easily. Got a 6-4 final. Flew over. The only bet I got right yesterday was that over. I think flew over 5.5 to 10 goals. So I think this is a high-scoring game between the Bruins and the Panthers, but I want to see who's in net before I do it. But that might be a 1-unit plus 170 ad, potentially, maybe, for an ad. DraftKings is where you can bet that, by the way. I think you can bet DraftKings. I think you can bet shots on goal at FanDuel. I'm pretty confident you can. I think you can as well at BetMGM, but I saw it at DraftKings tonight, so I know you can do that. So maybe an ad. Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat, or a link directly underneath me on YouTube to get into our Discord channel if you want to come in and join. I'll post the play, a yay or a nay, coming up later on today. Hey, I'm making rhymes. How we go? How we doing? Boston -6. Knicks -2.5. Under 1.5 goals in the first period, Islanders and the Hurricanes. Essentially the same card. We went 2-1 with this card a couple days ago. Let's see if we go 2-1 or 3-1, depending on it. If we get that plus 170 to come in and hit, we got to be up a unit to wind up flat. We win 2 units today, and we wind up winning for the week. Let's have a good Sunday. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt every single morning. It is the Daily Juice Podcast being brought to you by BetMGM.